Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now. Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.
Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Shout out to the channel sponsor Undisputed, who have a new DLC pack coming for you guys, by the way. I've seen the list of the new fighters being added to the game, and I think you guys are going to be very, very happy. I think it drops this Thursday, but make sure you check playundisputed.com for that latest update. All right, let's talk Canelo Crawford. But before we do that, we have a new addition to my my background. That's the best place, I think, for it. That is, if you didn't watch yesterday's video, that is the 100,000 subscriber plaque. Wonderful. It is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I ain't going to lie, but I'm still very, very happy. I have no idea what the target is now. Like, that was the target for at least 2 years. Like, a couple of years ago, I was like, okay, we need to get to 100,000. I have no idea if it's even realistic to say we need to get to 1 million. So I don't know what the target is, but we will make one, and we will get there. Trust me, that's what we'll do. Don't forget, we have the live. It is September 4th, so we are now 9 days away. If you haven't got a ticket, why not? Please come. It will be fun to see as many of you as possible. So it is September 4th, King's Place, London. If you do want to come and you don't have the money to get a ticket, send me an email. Send me an email. We are going to give some tickets away. I think we're giving like 5 or 10 away or something. So you might be one of those people. But if you do have the means and the funds to buy a ticket, the link to the tickets is in the description. All right, let's talk Canelo Crawford. We are fast approaching this super fight, like fast approaching. Canelo has put a photo out of him and Boots Ennis. I mean, there's a few people that have gone there to spar, but Boots is the latest one. That sparring, bloody hell, how good would that sparring be? Crawford has put out videos of him training. Looks like an absolute beast. Honestly, I'd love to know what he weighs right now. He looks massive. Shoulders look big, biceps look big, legs look big. I'm like, dude, it's only 168. You're not going up to 200 pounds. He looks really big, but he looks really strong, looks really smooth as well. Crawford, I just think, is a very, very special fighter. But look, we're going to talk about the fight in a second. What they have done is they've released their talent team. To be honest, it'll be good to know what you guys think. Your honest opinions about this talent team. I think it's very, very solid. We've got Jon Anik doing play-by-play. I don't know if Jon Anik's ever done a boxing play-by-play, but when you listen to him in the UFC, he is sensational. Sensational. I am a bit biased to Adam Smith. Obviously, I work with Adam now, and I think he is just the best. I know a lot of people say Jim Lampley is, and maybe he was, but I think right now, Adam Smith is the best. But I'll be interested to see how John calls a boxing fight. I know he knows he's boxing, so I don't think there'll be a problem there. What I can see very quickly with this team is Dana White's influence, because there is a few UFC voices here as well. But look, we'll go through it very quickly. Max Kellerman, yep. I think when I ask everyone to put their best team forward, their best team together, it always includes Max Kellerman. Like, he is the one consistent on here. Maybe Andre Ward as well. Andre's very, very good. I mean, very, very good. It's a shame Timothy Bradley's not on it. I love Timothy. I think he's fantastic. I don't know if his deal with Top Rank and ESPN means he can't do this, but obviously Top Rank don't have a deal with ESPN, so I feel like he should be a free agent, but it is what it is. So Jon Anik, Max Kellerman, and Andre Ward. Michael Buffer, no, like, there's no debate. Still the GOAT. There are many ring announcers, I think, that are very, very good, and I've witnessed all of them in action, but Michael Buffer is still the greatest. Like, once he says, let's get ready to rumble, it just sends shivers down your spine. Joe Martinez, very good. So this is a bit of the UFC influence. Obviously, Joe does Golden Boy shows as well. You guys will know that. But he also does a lot of UFC. So I'm guessing this is the UFC influence in this. Heidi Andro. Don't know too much about her, but I know she does a bit of UFC. I think she does a bit of hockey as well. So again, That's the Dana White influence there. Jim Gray, fine. Jim Gray, one of the best, if not the best ever when it comes to those in-ring interviews. I watch a lot of his stuff. I think he's fantastic. I think Max is fantastic as well. So either of those guys, but if Max is going to be sort of ringside, it makes sense to have Jim get in the ring and do his stuff. Skipper Kelp. This is a new, I've not heard of him before, and pardon my ignorance if he is a big name trainer in the US. He's going to be playing the coach's role. So I guess he's going to try and break down the fight as it's happening for us. Although you do have Andre Ward there. So Andre can do that. I would have preferred that role to be someone, and again, he might be this person, but a Derek James or an Abel Sanchez. So someone whose fight has gone in with Canelo or with Terence Crawford. So they can kind of give us their view. Obviously, Abel Sanchez went in with him twice, with Gennady Golovkin, and Derek James most recently with Errol Spence. I say most recently, it feels like fucking 10 years ago, that fight. Mario Lopez, I did think this would be Kate Abdo. I thought it would be Kate. Kate's done a few of these big fights on Netflix. I think, she did Canelo. She did Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, and I think she did Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, right? I think she did. So I thought this might be Kate Abdo, but you don't know scheduling situations. Has he ever hosted? I'm guessing he has, Mario. Look, knows his boxing, is very, very good, but I thought that might be Kate Abdo. Mark Kriegel, desk analyst as well. Okay, so the way in which they've got it, so the three people ringside, John Anik, Max Kellerman, Andre Ward, and I'm guessing Skipper Kelps are four. And the desk, the host position, will be Mario Lopez, Mark Kriegel, Antonio Tarver, who's very, very good, and Mike Coppinger. Solid. There's a few I would change, but I guess we're nitpicking here. Everyone does this, right? I mean, when they put out our team, it was like, oh, he's rubbish. Everyone does this. I think it's a great team. And any team that has Andre Ward, Jim Gray, Max Kellerman, John Anik, Joe Martinez, but take my money. So I think that's a solid team. All right, let's talk about the fight. I think as we've approached it now, I think when this fight was first announced, although I've always been strong on Crawford because ultimately he's an unbeaten fighter, no one's beating him, right? I did think the jump's going to be too big. I think we saw that when Jermell Charlo went up. It was like, okay, this is a bit too much for me. I do think Jermell Charlo, he didn't fight peak Canelo, because peak Canelo was that run between 2017 and 2021, just before he fought Bivol, I believe, in 2022. I think he fought Bivol. Jermell Charlo came after that. But he fought a very, very good Canelo. I don't think that Crawford is fighting the best Canelo anymore. Again, the Canelo I'm talking about, I mean, second Golovkin fight, I thought he was fucking incredible. That was, when was that? Geez, that feels like a long time ago. Second Golovkin fight was 2018. So I'm saying peak Canelo, although still very, very good people, peak Canelo for me was 6 years ago. It's a long time, or 5.5 years. That's a long time. In fact, exactly 15th of September. So it'll be to the day 5 years. Have I got them? What was I talking about? Sorry, almost 7 years ago. Jeez, that's a long time ago. Where some might say peak Crawford was Errol. So, shit, I didn't realize how long ago that was. And he's clearly not that same guy anymore. It clearly isn't. He's no longer fighting elite fighters. I mean, unless you're going to say William Skoll was elite. Edgar Berlanga, no. Munguia, no. Jamel, no. John Ryder, no. Third Golovkin fight, no. So he's no longer fighting the best, but he still is very good, and he's still a top 168 pounder. And I think this is why people are saying it is a 50-50 fight now, because we can see the deterioration in Canelo. Like, say what you want about William Skoll. Canelo looked poor in that fight as well. Everyone's like, oh, William Skoll ran. Well, Canelo didn't cut off the exits. Canelo wasn't great himself. Canelo's punch output was horrendous. So we can clearly see the deterioration. That said, he is the naturally bigger guy. I just mentioned the fact that Crawford's put on size, but the naturally bigger guy in this weight class is Canelo. That has to count for something. We know Canelo's been able to absorb punches from the naturally bigger guys. I mean, barely anyone's put a dent in this guy, right? That's how good his chin is. Maybe the best chin in boxing. It's frightening. But the legs have slowed down. The output has slowed down as well. And I always think about, with Canelo, desire and want and will. I always sort of say, where is that desire? The desire is in the check, and the desire is that he don't want to get beat by Crawford. He doesn't. Like, this means a lot to him. You can tell in the press conferences that they've had. This means a lot. Hopefully there's a face-to-face, by the way. Hopefully there's a face-off. Max Kellerman being involved. Max Kellerman is the king of face-offs. Hopefully there is that. With Crawford, my thing with Crawford is, I feel like he might have got it right, and I've always kind of thought about this, and I've always said he's got it wrong. And what I mean is that Crawford has only been fighting once a year for the past 6-7 years. 2019, one fight, 2020, one fight, 21, one fight, literally just doing that. And I'm like, has that preserved him? Whereas Canelo's been giving us 2 fights a year from that same day. So Canelo has fought double the amount of times that Crawford has in the same period. Canelo's always gone the distance in those fights as well, apart from Jamel, right? So he's not only has he given us the double amount of fights, he's probably given us double the amount of rounds, because Crawford's been knocking people out. So I almost feel like Crawford, by fighting once a year, has preserved his body to the point when you look at them, you wouldn't believe that Crawford's 3-4 years older. Like, Crawford just feels and looks more vibrant and younger, more energetic. And that has to play a big part as well. Crawford hasn't taken a lot of punishment. He's fresh. And I know people like to say, well, look at him against Madrimov. Canelo ain't moving like Madrimov. Madrimov was very difficult to pin down. Canelo's not moving. Canelo's going to stay in the pocket and trade with him. In fact, it'll be Crawford the one that moves. I think it's a really 50-50 pick'em. I think it's a pick'em fight, this. I'm leaning towards Crawford. Obviously, I'm filming this still a couple of weeks out. As it stands right now, I'm leaning to Terence Crawford, just because I do think there's so much wear and tear in Canelo. This is a guy that's been doing it since, what year did he turn pro? 2005. 2005. 20 years, guys. 20 years of fights. 20 years of sparring, of injuries, fight camps. Jeez. Man. But he's got big fight experience. That has to count for something. He has size. That has to count for something. He's been in there with by far the better opposition. That has to count for something. Like, all of that must mean something on fight night. Crawford's unbeaten. That's the only counter I can give. Crawford's unbeaten. Crawford's the better boxer. Crawford's unbeaten. Crawford's the better boxer. Crawford's the fresher of the two. And he just seems to have this air of just confidence around him. This is such a good fight. Such a good fight. I am leaning the way of the man that is unbeaten to stay unbeaten. And I think you know what? I'd go as far as saying I think he's going to look fucking spectacular. I think he's going to look incredible. I've seen slippage with Canelo. It's not just a skull fight. Go back and watch the John Ryder fight. And some might say, oh, he's underestimating John. John Ryder, I was watching that thinking, what the hell's going on? So I've seen slippage. I've seen slippage for a while. And I think Crawford's getting him at exactly the right time. Canelo ain't a big 168, guys. I'm telling you, I've been around him. And this isn't me just throwing these things out there. I've been around both of these guys so many times, I can see the size difference. And I'm telling you now, it ain't what you think. It ain't what you think. Like, Canelo is a small 168er. Small. There's guys at 154 that probably walk around bigger than Canelo. And I don't know why people find that hard to believe. I'm not lying. I've seen these guys. I'm telling you, there's some guys out there that are enormous. You've just seen the Boots Ennis Canelo picture. Look at the size of Ennis. That's a 154 pounder. Look, and don't get me wrong, Canelo's obviously cutting weight to get to 168 now. But look at the size of Ennis. Some of these guys are enormous. Canelo ain't that. So yes, there's a double weight jump, if you like, for Crawford, but it isn't really that. Like, it isn't really that. Crawford's a big boy himself. And forget the fact he came up from 135. Crawford's a big boy himself. This is going to be intriguing, but my money is definitely on Bud. I think Bud's going to get this done. I think he's going to get this done and he's going to look sensational. But again, look, we're going to do so many videos in the lead up to it. So many talking points and lead up to it, isn't there? All right, let's moving away from it very quickly. Jarrell Miller on collapse of Michael Hunter fight. I should start suing people for defamation of character. Dude, you can't, Jarrell. Don't even try and sue me. You can't. Again, Chisora scheduled, didn't happen. Wardley scheduled. I interviewed you. We did a walk and talk around the stadium, didn't happen. And now this one didn't happen. I think the issue lies on your side as opposed to Michael Hunter's side. That's what I think. But then again, there is this issue with Don King. Raymond Ford unsatisfied with latest outing. Abraham Nova's a good fighter. I did say about Ford, because I said that Eddie, continually tells me that he's in the, I think he's even said Floyd Mayweather, but he's definitely said Shakur Stevenson. No, he's not. He's a very, very, very good fighter. But these guys that you're talking about are very special, elite level fighters. He ain't that. Very good, but he ain't that. All right, let's have a look and see if there's anything else. No. It would have been another good name. I don't know. You might have a fighter on the card. And by the way, it's true. I said about Derek James and Abel Sanchez. They might have fighters on the card. I'm trying to think the undercard who they've got. But Robert Garcia would have been a good person as well to get. I have not seen yet the Rafferty Mark Chamberlain fight. I need to watch it because I'm hearing that was an absolute war. Well done to both. Domestic dust-ups, they give us these. I haven't seen it. And I haven't seen Abbas Barrio. Is it Barrio or Barrow? I think it's Barrow. Jonas Tellez won, upset that is. So well done to him as well. Well done. All right, guys, girls, we are done. Peace and love.
Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now.
Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.